All right, guys, we got another video. This is from Anton Daniels, and it's called Taking Care of Another Man's Child with a Single Baby Mama is Possibly the Worst Thing a Man Can Do. Let's check this one out.
I can't believe we about to have this conversation. All right, listen. You got to be able to separate the difference between a woman that's a wife and a woman that's for everybody. All right? The women that are wives, they instinctively move a completely different way. They're a completely different animal. They're a completely different creature. All right? All women are not the same. There's different species, right? Just like there's different monkeys, there's different cats. Okay? There are different types of women, right? And all women are not created equal. And so what men don't understand is that they're trying to categorize them all the same based off of some of the dumbest things that I've ever seen in my life. So for example, they'll categorize them based off of what they look like. They'll categorize them based off of, you gonna turn it down? They'll categorize them based off of their nationality. They'll categorize them based off of a whole lot of different things. But the thing that they overlook the most is how to identify the difference between a chick that's really for the streets and a chick that's really for, that's supposed to be a wife. All right. So let me give you some of the telltale signs. Okay. A woman that is a baby mother that is not widowed is not your wife. It's not for you, bro.
I agree with that. Definitely agree with that, man. Straight up. There's a lot of different reasons why, but off rip, yeah, I agree with that.
I know that this is going to be one of the most controversial things that I say tonight, but I'm just going to tell you. If she had a kid out of wedlock, I would never advise a guy to do something that I wouldn't do.
Now, I could speak from my experience on this as well. I have dated women with children, and it's not a good look because you always end up in a scenario where they expect you to be or do for that kid or those kids. But then when you try to, per se, discipline or something's going on and you try to correct them, then it becomes a whole another ball game. Then it's all of a sudden you're not their dad, or let their dad deal with that. Or even the kid may say, hey, you're not my dad. You can't talk to me like that. There's a number of different things that will come into play, may not come into play necessarily at first, but these are things that definitely will play a part sometime down the line. Stepdaddies are underappreciated guys, and it's just not worth it, in my opinion.
Okay. And before you even consider getting in a relationship, now this is much different than a guy that just chooses to have sex with her. I don't dick police. I do say exercise a level of dick discipline, because you never want to fumble the bag as a result of dealing with a woman at all. Women have largely been the bane of a lot of men's existence, and it is the downfall of some of the biggest kingdoms. You work your whole life, you build it up, and then you fumble it over a woman. All right. So, never deal, or I would never advocate for a man to marry a woman that is a single mother. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not an advocate for it. I think it is one of the dumbest moves that a guy can pull, right? I don't care what Umar Johnson tells you. I don't care what Boyce Watkins' corny ass told you. I don't care what Steve Harvey is telling you. I don't care if Shannon Sharp is out here paying for divorces.
Yeah. See, it's really bad if you run into a female with multiple kids and they have multiple baby daddies. Okay, because it's bad enough if you did it one time, but to go and do it multiple times, that's a bad sign right there. You want to be the number 3 or number 4, you go right ahead and take your chances with that. But I wouldn't recommend it. I really wouldn't. Now, I'm not saying not to have fun. I mean, the older you get in the dating scene, you're going to come across plenty of women who have kids, right? And what I used to do, I'm just going to keep it real with you guys. What I used to do is I used to just play the game. You know what I mean? If a man wants something from a woman, you're going to play the game. You're going to take them out, or you're going to hang out with them. They got a kid or two or whatever, but you're just playing your position. But knowing that at the very end of it all, you're not going to be in a long-term committed relationship. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I've talked to plenty of other people who looked at it or seen it that way. And when you see a woman, this is what a lot of men see. If you're a woman watching this, this is what a lot of men see when they see a woman with a child or children, right? And you may be thinking, oh, well, I got a man and you know, I have 2 kids by somebody else, and that's him. Okay, well, let's see if that materializes into anything past just messing around. Okay, let's see if he marries you though. That's the thing. Okay, men have a hard enough time sometime committing to women without all that. So you see where that gets you. Is all I'm saying. And it's not the same for men and women. I hear women all the time saying, well, what about men with multiple kids? Well, it's not the same. Men with, you know, Terry with 3 kids is completely different than, you know, Sarah with 3 kids, guys, because 9 times out of 10, Sarah has those kids. Sarah has custody of those kids, and, you know, the guy does not. And so the guy is essentially more free or freed up to do more and deal with more, as opposed to the woman who has to cater to those kids, right? So it is different, even though it does seem like it's the same, but it's technically it's not.
Never ever marry a woman or look to get in a relationship with a woman that is a single mother, especially if she's not widowed. That is a death trap. It's a death trap. You are going to go and take care of another man's kids. You are going to have to deal with another man, considering that you do realize that the true measure of what marriage used to be, especially as it relates to biblical terms, because I know a lot of y'all try to act like y'all believe in God. So let's put it to the test. Did you know that when a man had sex with a woman, that was literally his wife? That was the determining factor for whether or not she was his wife or not, is when he had sex with her. And so when you take that into consideration and you really assess the fact that, well, if this man had a baby with her, and at any point he can come back and have a conversation or fight for his kid or go back and forth or negotiate with her, you want a relationship with both of them. You as a man, you listen.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. That baby daddy issue is definitely something that needs to be brought up more often, especially if you're younger and you're trying to date and you're out here. If I met a woman and she had a young child, I'm thinking automatically, yo, that baby daddy 9 times out of 10 is not out of the picture. He's not completely out of the picture, guys. Okay, he's probably still tapping that every now and again, and I say that because I'm telling you guys, it happens. Okay. And you can never count that baby daddy out. You can never count him out of the equation, guys. She gets mad at you, something goes on, you guys split for a couple of weeks or whatever. 9 times out of 10, that dude is coming around. Okay. He's hitting it. He's something. Okay. And that's just another caveat that you got to deal with when you're talking to or trying to actually be in a relationship with somebody with kids, guys. They're never fully out of the way. There's potential traps all around. So it's just not a good look it's just not a good look, man. It's not. And like I said before, I'll say it again. It's different for men. It's different for men. Okay. They don't have to deal with that as much. It's just a different scenario. You can call me what you want to call me, but I've experienced it. I've seen it. It's not the same.
Listen, you're not hearing me. You're not thinking logically because you're thinking with your small head instead of thinking with the tall head. You are in a relationship with both of them for the duration of that child's life. That man will always play a role or have the option to insert himself into your life as a result of the fact that you participated in something that you wasn't supposed to be involved in the first place. I'm telling you. Listen, right now, there is a premiere happening on Tasha K's app channel or something like that. And she already dropped the preview with Jim Townsend. Who is Jim Townsend? Jim Townsend just so happened to be a former drug kingpin turned chatty patty that wrote a book called Snakes in the Grass about the life and a tell-all book of what it was that he was dealing with as a result of Steve Harvey marrying Marjorie. Kids is grown, married, out the house, living a life. Steve is supposed to be in his later years living in bliss, and he's gotten to the bag and all of that. He did the right thing, took care of another man's kids, adopted him, gave him his last name. And Jim Townsend is still sitting here having conversations with Tasha K today, talking about what Steve said to his little son back when they was a little kid. This man was supposed to be in jail for the rest of his life. Allegedly, according to what people are telling me, Steve Harvey petitioned Obama on his behalf in order to get some of his sentence commuted so that he can get out of prison and he wouldn't spend the rest of his life in jail. And this man is still having conversations and coming back to haunt this man after he took care of this man's kids while he was locked up in prison.
That's crazy. That's diabolical right there. Straight up. No ifs, ands, buts about it. Yeah, that's crazy, man. But I mean, to my point, to his point, this shit is real. This shit is real. And he literally just said it, guys. You're always going to be dealing with multiple individuals. You're always going to be in that. He's always going to be in your life. As long as you're married to that woman, then there's going to be issues. Birthday parties, weddings, just events, in general, graduations, things of that nature. That's, and for me personally, call me selfish, call me whatever you want to call me, but I'm not into all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking to deal with anybody else in my personal business, my family, my personal business, and it is what it is. I keep it like that, and let the chips fall where they may. But it makes a good point.
Now tell me how that makes sense. Somebody said that they disagree with me. Well, okay, well, here's the link. Help me to understand where I'm wrong.
There's always going to be people.
Help me to understand where. Listen, for the entirety of that child's life, in one way or another, all of y'all is married because you have to, in some way, shape, or form, still interact with, deal with, or hear from another dude because you took care of his child. My father told me that nice guys finish last.
They do.
My father told me
they do.
Nice guys finish last. And he was absolutely right. He was 100% right. God bless his soul. Rest in peace, OG Dad. Why would you ever take care of voluntarily based off of the fact that you love another woman? Why would you sign up to take care of another man's kids?
Look, I'll say this. I will say that there are exceptions. There's always an exception to the rule, guys. Anytime you hear my content and I'm dropping shit, I'm always going to say that, right? But the main thing I talk about is the majority. I'm always talking about the majority. Are there exceptions? Yes. There's exceptions to everything. But I think what he's talking about is the majority of the situations, guys. The majority of women with kids, if you're looking for somebody to grow old with and make your wife, that shouldn't be your first choice. Should not be at all. Never should be your first choice. Okay? Period. All right? I'm not talking about dating, dealing with, but I'm talking about that final plateau. When it comes to that, committing to another man's kid or kids, no. You need to think very, very closely before you make a decision in that size. I'm just telling you.
I can't see it. I would never advise a man do it. To all of y'all step baby daddies out there, God bless you and congratulations. I'm not built like that. God didn't put that burden on my shoulders. Think about it, man. Think about it. Let's put it in perspective. This woman laid down. Come on, man. I know y'all don't want to talk about this, but let's talk about it. This woman laid down. Missionary, doggy style, riding, took the whole load. It wasn't a one time to get pregnant thing. She was taking it in. She was getting bust down. And then his seed inserted her. And then it grew like a tree. And now you're nurturing, watering, pruning, and picking leaves in order to make sure that this tree grows upright and this tree don't even acknowledge you as his father.
He didn't have to put it. when you look at it like that, it makes it even worse. He's just, but he's not lying. He's not lying. He's not lying. And if he has to put it in that context for somebody out there watching this content to get to receive and understand, to finally make them see the light, then so fucking be it, I guess. Because yeah, man, he's spitting facts. I know there's probably going to be people in the comments, mostly women, most likely, are going to be trying to come for me or whatever. But it is what it is, man. You don't have to agree with me. This is just how I see it. Have your own opinion. That's the beauty of being your own self. You can have your own opinion and believe what you want to believe, right? This is just what I believe, and live your life accordingly, I guess. I just don't want to deal, or rather not deal with all of that. Luckily, I don't have to deal with that. I'm married, and I don't have to deal with those type of situations. But, to each his own is what I'll say.
How does that make sense? How does that make sense?
That's the end of the video, guys. I want to thank everybody for watching. If you agree, if you don't agree, I want to hear what you got to say. Go ahead and leave a comment and let's get to it, guys. I want to thank everybody once again for watching this content. If you like this content, if you want me to react to another video, hey, I'll be more than willing to do that. So just send me what you got. I'll go through them and we can do some more content, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.